Hello again. I just got a question under the last video that I posted, which was a challenge about breathing. And the question there sounded something like if I could do a similar video again, but about fast tonguing. I'm not quite sure if you are referring to then single tonguing or double tonguing or what kind of techniques we're talking about. But if it is about single tonguing, fast single tonguing, then some people are a little bit more fortunate than others for some reason. So for some people can go quite quick, like they can even play like Beethoven 4 in like 150, 60 on a single tongue. For some people that's possible to do. Back in the day, I was able to do it, but then eventually I learned double tonguing and my single tongue got more lazy because I normally then just used the double tongue when I had to play really fast stuff. So that's a danger with learning double tongue, is that normally your single tongue can decrease in tempo, so you need to actually practice fast single tongue as well to keep it in shape. And a way to do that is of course just to do very basic exercises. To play, you know, like quarter tones, 8 notes, triplets, like 16th notes, quintuplets and sextuplets in one tempo, and make sure that the tonguing is just fluent, and that the faster you go, the smaller movements the tongue is doing. And then just imagine, for example, you're breathing out, and more like a circular column or something, and under that the tongue is basically just barely interfering with the reed plate at all. Very little thing is happening actually. So the faster you go, the smaller movements. The same applies for double tongue. But also the faster you go, the smoother attack I normally use. So instead of taka taka taka, which is quite aggressive and very more percussive and very articulated, I use more like a daga daga daga, which is easy to remember. Daga 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 Jensen, Dag Jensen, yeah? Easy to remember that. Fun fact, it was actually him that I heard the first time we played this kind of double tonguing, and he just nailed it, of course. So since I heard him do that, I sort of went a little bit in the same direction. The good thing with this is when you then play very fast stuff, like from 160 and above, when you have more of a tenuto tongue point, meaning you have longer note values, even if you play things fast, they sound a bit, they sound more even in a fast tempo. If you do this very percussive thing, it becomes very like this, and it's more, you know, vertical instead of horizontal. So you need to think a lot of airflow actually, and that also the fingers are synchronized with the tonguing. It's also very important and more challenging the faster you go, of course. So some very basic things is of course, for example, Beethoven 4th Symphony, which we all know, the fast stuff there. Of course, you need to be able to say it in that tempo. If you're not able to say it in that tempo, then probably most likely you will not be able to play it either in that tempo. So saying it is one thing. Another thing is then to start slow and then to gradually go up in tempo. I normally increase the metronome with 10 at the time. So for example, start too slow, which is actually also very difficult. A very slow double tongue, to make that sound somewhat good, is very challenging. That's much more difficult than to play, you know, around 160, around there. So challenge that also. So now I've done some clips of how I practice double tongue, and I used Beethoven 4 as a little study in this way. Of course, I will never need to play Beethoven 4 this slow or this fast, but this is just a double tongue exercise that I do. So you might as well test it out as well. Try it in all different tempos, and yeah, more or less like this. 110. 120. 130. 140. 150. 160. 170. So after having heard that, you might wonder, what's the point with playing this fast? It makes no sense, and you will never need it in this tempo. And yeah, you're correct. Most likely you will never need it in this tempo. But the good thing with it is that if you're able to play it faster than you need, then the tempo you actually need is piece of cake in comparison. You will sound more relaxed, and it will feel more natural, and it won't be such a big of a deal. It's a little bit the same with high notes too. If you're able to play higher than you really need, then a high E or a high F, that's not a big deal anymore, because you know you can do better than that. Of course, I'm not saying that the recordings I just showed here now was very good. Some of them were better than others. Maybe one of them was even not that good. But this is practicing, this is studying. I'm not trying to show off with this. It's just how I practice it. So if this was useful for you, feel free to comment below what you think about it and how you practice double tongue or fast single tonguing. I think we all would be very interested to hear how you do it.